fan of softball, then you are going to love the Fastpitch TV show. We're bringing you more interviews, more videos, and more product reviews than anyone else on the planet. Sit back and get ready. Here's the Fastpitch TV show.
Hello and welcome to the Fastpitch TV show. I'm your host, Gary Leland. Now, if you found our show on Facebook, your Apple TV, or any other video sharing device, check out my website at fastpitch.tv. It's the home of the Fastpitch TV network and the place to find all my softball video channels and softball blogs. At this time, there's 7 channels of videos and 11 blogs on the website. And all of these blogs, video channels are all dedicated to one thing, and that's Fastpitch softball. Now, as you know, one of the websites I operate is softballcoaches.com. Now, on this site, I have a bio of every coach who's won a NCAA D1 championship. Now, in my attempt to interview every one of these coaches, I finally interviewed Bob Brock. And I'll bring you Bob's interview right after this word from my sponsor.
Do you need a softball bat? Do you want to save $30? SoftballJunk.com is offering an additional $30 discount off the price of all non-sale softball bats on their website. That's right, $30. So the next time you buy a bat, go to softballjunk.com and enter the code FPTV30 during checkout. And wham! You just put a cool $30 in your pocket.
Bob, I appreciate you joining me. Another one of my coaches in my quest to get every coach has been a College World Series winner. I appreciate you joining me today.
I've been glad to.
Yeah, so tell me, you've been coaching a long time. I think that goes without saying. Anyone who's got 900 wins, is that right? Over 900.
Well, I just recently got the 1,000th one, you know,
okay.
just recently.
I'm a little behind?
Yeah, that's okay, though. You know, it just shows you how much longer I've been here, okay?
That's a long time. There's not a lot of you guys with 1,000 wins. And getting at that, you've seen a lot of changes, I would think, in softball over the years. Can you tell us maybe what some of the things you've seen that have been big changes?
Well, I think competition is, you know, in summer coaches and high schools. And I remember, this is kind of the way I usually try to say this. I started in 1979 at Baylor, and I think this is pretty much sums it up. We had 2 bats and 2 balls and 2 gloves. And we went from there and to where it is today. You know, you're here interviewing me, and we're doing a lot of neat things that, the equipment's better, the players are better, everything is just a lot better. So it's progressed. I guess you could call me a pioneer, you know, and it's just, it's just fantastic. We're on television. We've got regionals on television. We've got World Series on television, you know, and things like that. So it's really, really changed. A lot of people are paying attention, and it's a shame that we finally got it in the Olympics, and and it needs to get back in there just as soon as it can, because it really did help Fastpitch softball.
It certainly did. It did help it a lot, and that is a shame. And you're correct. You are what I would call a pioneer. Anyone's been around long enough to get 1,000 wins, I think we would have to go with that title.
Right. Yes, sir.
So, how did you originally get into coaching softball?
Well, this is, if you can go back to maybe the 60s and 70s, I traveled all over the state playing Fastpitch softball, and made a lot of friends. I'm from Waco, Texas, and I was catching a pitcher out of there that was really outstanding, and so we got to go around all over the state. Plus, when I went off to Sam Houston State, which I am a graduate of, we had a team out of there, and it was traveled around in Houston area and was very good. And then after a little while, somebody came to me and said, "Don't you think you're getting a little old to be playing this game? And why don't you come over here and coach a team? I've got a team for you." And I got out there, and of course it was girls. And the first thing that I saw was, girls. I said, well, I don't know. I said, I'm not sure I knew they played Fastpitch softball. And at this time, it was just a Little League program. It was the Waco Midway Little League program, which is pretty well known for their Little League program right now. And so I better shorten this up a little bit, but they got talked into coaching them, and we did really well, I agreed to do it. I was reluctant at first, but I found out they could flat play some Fastpitch softball. And later on, they dismissed the coach at Baylor, and just tell you how naive I was at that time. I didn't know there was any college softball, and so I just got lucky. One of the people that daughters that I coached was president of the Baylor Alumni Association. So he called me up one day, wanted to know if I wanted to coach fast pitch softball at the collegiate level because they all knew me for playing a lot of fast pitch. And at that time, I was director of the McLennan County Correctional Facility. I have a master's degree in criminology, and so I wasn't didn't want to give that up real quick because I had worked pretty hard to get that. And so finishing it up. So the first year there, I was worked in the McLennan County Sheriff's Department and did coaching at Baylor part-time. So that's how I got into it, and then it progressed to full-time at Baylor. And then a little bit later, a couple of years, we had a lot of success, and a few years later, got a Texas A&M called me up, wanted to know if I'd be interested in their job, and Texas A&M, and then retired there in '96.
And you had 3 world champions, World Series winners.
We had 3 national championships. The first one was at the AIW. We were still into that, and that was the originally, all the collegiate schools had separate women's athletics, as far as championships and things like that. Then in '82, the NCAA decided to take it over, which was one of the biggest things that happened. It was really great that the NCAA took it over. Some people might not want me to hear me say that, but it was really awesome. So, and we won one in '82, but it was an AIEW. It was the last of it. And then we won one in '83 NCAA and one in '87.
So I guess '83, that must have been the second year they had that.
That would be the second year, yes.
And then you were in the finals 3 or 4
years. Yes, we were. We
you had a pretty dominating program.
We did. The '80s, we were really strong, and the '80s and early '90s, we were really strong.
Something you said a second ago really got to me. It kind of changed what I was going to ask you here. You were talking about you were playing men's fast pitch. Now, you don't see that much anymore. The women's sport is pretty much taken over this game, and if you ask a young person, talk to them about men's fast pitch, they go, guys play this sport? And they asking a question, guys play this sport?
Yeah, no, they don't play anymore. And you know what happened to it? All the pitchers got older, and nobody renewed them, and nobody decided to keep perpetuating it. So eventually it just died out because of not having enough pitching to go around. But when I was in it, every community had a fast pitch softball team, and but now you're absolutely right. It's pretty much a women's game. And
well, Coach Moore from Baylor, he grew up playing softball with his parents down in Louisiana, I think.
Yes, and he's somebody that I talked to quite a bit about fast pitch softball, and we've been knowing each other for a long time. So. It was a good old days. I loved that game, and I've given just about, even made my career change and everything, and here I am still out of retirement, but back out of retirement, coaching here at Sam Houston, and I can't get enough of it. It's a lot of fun.
And you've done real well with this program here. I mean, you brought this program up.
Well, it was struggling a little bit, and when I talked to the athletic director at Sam Houston, they were really perturbed with their results that they were having, and so I, kind of decided, I was alumni and stuff like that, I decided to come out of retirement coaching, and we've done well here. We've given an opportunity for a lot of kids to play in the Texas area. We're all Texas players, so, I feel good about that. Yes, we've done well, and we're having a great year this year.
Now, if you were giving one piece of advice to a new coach starting out a new program, you got any tip you can give them, like saying, hey, this is something I wish someone told me when I started?
Yeah, I wish somebody would told me, you better learn something about pitching. And because it is the game, and these young ladies can throw 4 or 5 different pitches, and it doesn't take long for a pitcher to find out that you don't know anything about pitching. And I would be, that would be my advice to anybody right now.
So is that saying a coach that was a pitcher might be at a slight advantage?
I would say so, because there's pitcher talk. And, and if almost everybody has a pitching coach, okay, at this level now. And so when you become a head coach and you don't know that much about pitching, then you're not real sure what to tell them. I'm not saying you don't know how to call a game, but I'm saying, hey, there's something wrong here. How do I do my finger on the seam?
No.
Well, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
But you can learn. Yeah. You can learn, and you can learn about it. Nobody said you had to pitch it. You know, so I would, you know, because this is the game. The more you know about it, the more you can control the team. That's the way I feel about it.
And it's a good method to look at, way to look at. What would you say was your most memorable moment out of your career in softball?
Well, national championships. And
you got 3, so you have to still nail it down to one of those.
You know, so I think 1987. You know, we had a young lady that pitched for us. Her name was Shawn Andaya. I don't know if you're probably familiar with that name, and it was just an exciting team. It was kind of a different kind of team, and they really, you know, when we got to the World Series, they called us Brock and his bunch of cheerleaders. And, you know, and so I use that every time we turn around. Let's take the cheerleaders to the World Series game, you know, and that kind of stuff. So it was, I'm not saying that's good or bad, but that's what they were saying in the paper and stuff like that. But, and then this Shawn Andaya just recently got inducted into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. So I was lucky to be around somebody that was really an awesome player, one of the top players. I think, you know, maybe it's a few years. A lot of people don't know who she is, but anybody about 10 years ago knows who she is. But that was pretty, you know, she was awesome, and that 87 team sticks out. They all do, though. I want to make sure of that, you know, but that one really especially sticks out.
Well, you've had a great career, and I appreciate you taking a short amount of time to talk to us, and your team looks like they're stretching, getting ready to go, and I know you have to do your lineup and stuff, so I'm going to let you go, but thanks for taking the time with us.
Thank you so much, and I hope that I've helped somebody, you know, because this is a great, great sport, and, hey, you kids out there, you just keep working your butts off, okay?
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
All right.
Have you heard about the great softball coaches clinic that Fastpitch TV is hosting? They have a great lineup of speakers, including softball pitching great Kat Osterman. See all the speakers at www.fastpitch.tv/clinic. I'm sure this clinic's going to sell out quick, so get your ticket today.
Welcome back. If you'd like to see Bob's bio, just go to my website, softballcoaches.com. Now, if you have an iPhone and iPad, you need to look at all of the apps I've made today for those products. At this moment, I've created 8 different apps for the iPhone and iPad. Just go to app.fastpitch.tv. Now, don't forget to check out our new skills video channel at coacheslook.com. It's a great way for high school players to get noticed by college coaches. And that's really it for today, so until next week, this is Gary Lee.
This show is a member of the Fastpitch TV network.